Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 5, Meakashi. So last time, very emotional, sad episode, right? Especially on the part with Satiko, her resolve there, enduring all of the things that Shion was doing, right? Mion also crying right inside her cell because Shion was doing all that stuff, right? So I think in this episode, we're gonna meet with Keiichi and Rena, right? Let's see how it plays out. Is it gonna be the same or are they gonna show the same? I mean, the same conversations we had there. So let us continue. Yes, we are here. Yes. It took them a long time to come for me, so I had to wait until the following morning. I opened the gate without checking who was ringing the doorbell. I didn't even care who it was. If it was the police, that'd be fine with me. If it was Kei-chan, could he defeat me? Kei-chan or Kei-chan, yeah, Keiichi and Rena were there.
こんな時間に珍しいね。二人とも学校は？
学校は休んだよ。
ケイちゃんはともかく、レナも？二人とも不良なんだからな。
I laughed.
立ち話もなんでしょ？入りなよ。
I don't think Rena would come. I thought it would be either the police or Kei-chan alone. I'll try tricking Kei-chan into coming with me to the underground storehouse. Rena, so why don't you figure out what I'm attempting to do and stop me? You too, Kei-chan. If you figure out I was Shion, why don't you try to figure out the rest? I'll act like a demon. I will struggle until the very last moment. So, don't hold back. Please don't hesitate to kill a filthy demon like me.
ミオ、まず謝ることがある。
ケイちゃんが？何を？
綿流しの晩、俺は神社の祭具殿に入ったんだ。
I didn't expect this to start with an apology. Okay, so he admitted his sin of entering the ritual storehouse. I guess that was manly of him. I don't care if the storehouse is forbidden anymore, whatever. That rule came from those who believe it was even a sacred place at all.
ミオ、おとといリカちゃんとサトコを呼んだろ。
覚えはないけど。そう思うに足る根拠があるなら聞かせてもらえる？
夕方過ぎのお夕食前の時間、リカちゃんが来たはずだよ。お醤油の大瓶を持ってお裾分けしてもらいに。
Rena spoke with confidence. She wasn't even trying to gauge my reaction. She was simply telling me the truth. That cleverness was very pleasant to see.
どうしてそう思う？
そんなに難しい話じゃない。みーちゃんも見たでしょ？リカちゃんの部屋。冷ややっこがあるのにお醤油がなかった。そして流しの下にあるはずの醤油の大瓶も瓶ごとなかった。
何それ？それが私のとこへ来る理由になるわけ？
Rena sure sharp. I tried to beat around the bush, but she was confident in her conclusions. She was cornering me. She was doing such a great job too, it really put me at ease. Okay, demon. Rena knows what she's talking about, so what kind of excuse are you going to come up with now?
長くなるから説明は省くけど、冷蔵庫の中身がみーちゃんの呼び出した話の内容まで如実に物語っちゃってるの。
There it is. The game is over. Rena, I was right about you. I don't like you. You really are just too sharp. Shion is an obtuse that she never even recognized the side of you.
これはとんだ名探偵が身近にいたもんだよ。まさか冷蔵庫の中身だけで電話の内容まで見破るとは。参ったな。参った参った。
I laughed like crazy. I laughed because I was having so much fun. I sensed the poison inside of my stomach dissipating and felt free and refreshed.
ミオン、警察はもうとっくにお前を疑ってるんだ。この家も大石さんの部下が踏み込もうと今も様子を伺ってる。
Keiichi was threatening me. He was telling me I couldn't run or resist, so I should just surrender and accept my fate. You aren't doing that intensely enough, Keiichi. Shouldn't you grab my collar and knock me to the ground? Today's the day I am prepared to die. After that, they went easy. Because they just wanted to know the reason why Mion committed such crimes. You all are being too lenient about this. I'm a demon. I'm a murderer. Are you saying that if you can understand the reasoning, murder is okay? A demon is a demon. Murderer is a murderer. Whether your motive is to have fun, to live, or to take revenge, that makes no difference. True. Why do you even want to know that? Why don't you just tackle me and take me to the police? Look there. The demon is trying to deceive you.
初めてご挨拶申し上げます。園崎本家当主跡継ぎミオンでございます。本日はようこそ園崎本家においでくださいました。当主お寮に代わりまして皆様にご挨拶申し上げます。皆様におかれましてはいろいろお尋ねになりたいことがおありの様子。私にお話しできることでしたら包み隠さずお話ししたいと存じます。
I then told them about the strange events that led to Onigafuchi village becoming Hinamizawa, which Takano-san had told me about before. About half of it was the truth, but the other half was completely made up. I just made it sound like it was only natural that their best friend committed such a gruesome crime. Keiichi and Rena were both overwhelmed by the history of Onagafuchi village, which was swallowed by this gloomy fate. Oh well. I guess I made it sound interesting enough. I'm sure they enjoyed hearing me tell the story. But, you know, I'm the one who committed the incidents that happened in the present time. What was the point in listening to these old folk tales? Are you thinking it will make your best friend's crime easier to swallow? You're just trying to satisfy yourselves. I'm a demon. I'm a murderer. I have sinned. These old folk tales have nothing to do with the crimes I've committed. The way those two listened to me so intensely almost made it fun. I told them that people used to make canned human meat and conducted gruesome research during the war. Those were things that Kano-san told me. Okay, so we're not really listening to the story now, okay? We're just seeing all the thoughts in Shion's head right now. Hey, you two. Haven't you realized yet? Haven't you realized that what I'm talking about has nothing to do with what we're dealing with right now? You both look so serious. You two are such fools. Yeah, it's just funny, like, when Shion was talking to Keiichi, right? We're also seeing stuff like this, like, she's mocking them, messing with them. Yeah.
ひなみ沢村を 再び鬼ヶ淵村のように崇められるに足る神聖な存在に。
Okay, like when she's talking like this, she's super serious, but in her head, she's all crazed up there.
それが我ら鬼ヶ淵村の末裔の悲願であり、園崎本家の鬼を継ぐ者の宿命なのです。
鬼を継ぐ者？
我が園崎本家は代々当主の名に鬼の一字を加える習慣があるのです。私の名前を手のひらにでも書いていただければ一目瞭然かと。
Keiichi tried to write Mion on his palm.
あ、本当だ。鬼という文字が含まれてる。
名前だけではありませんよ。この体にも鬼が刻まれているのです。
I stood up and made to show my bare back. Of course, I don't actually have a tattoo there.
いいよみーちゃん。
Yeah, this is when I got annoyed with Rena here. I was like, Rena, no! You should have just stayed quiet.
見せる必要なんて全然ない。
ありがとう。
I laughed a little. See? I laughed a little because, yeah, all according to plan. I guess she was just testing it, and then Rena said this, so yes. She was like, thank God. They must really believe that I'm their best friend, Mion. My goodness. The demon has won already. They were doing so well at the beginning, too. I eventually sat back down after I finished telling my made-up tearjerker stories. It's your loss if you all shed any tears now. I look at Keiichi. He wasn't crying, but he was overcome by emotion. I look at Rena. Surprisingly, she still maintained an aggressive look, showing me her will to fight.
でもみーちゃんはリカちゃんとサトコちゃんを殺したんだよね。
You're good, Rena. You know what I just told you isn't an excuse for murder. You usually act like such a goofball, but that's not how you really are. You sure are something. You're far sharper than Shion.
他の人のことは殺してもいいとも言わないよ。でもとにかくみーちゃんはリカちゃんとサトコちゃんを殺した。
弁解はしないよ。私には鬼が宿ってる。名前にも体にも心にも。でも手を下したのは鬼じゃない。園崎ミオン。私本人。ミオンが望んだからリカちゃんとサトコが死んだ。それは変わらない。レナの言う通りだよ。
Come on, Rena. Try to figure out who I really am. You still believe Shion, my victim, is the real culprit. Or Shion. I'm making Rena believe that you're responsible. That was it for Rena though. She couldn't figure out I was Mion.
自首しよう。
Rena spoke to Mion.
私たちも一緒に行くよ。親友を一人きりになんか絶対にしない。
泣くことレナには勝てないわ。
Too bad, Rena. I've won.
自分で自分の罪どのくらいになるかよくわかってる。たとえ自首が認められても多分もうここに帰ってくることもないと思う。だから最後にわがままを聞いてほしいな。
何かな。
30分でいいからケイちゃんと二人きりにしてほしい。
Keiichi looked startled to suddenly hear his name. You're so insensitive, Keiichi. That's what made my sister cry.
圭一くん、どうかな。圭一くんが嫌なら無理にとは言えない。
そうだね。嫌ならそれでもいいよ。私は鬼だもの。ケイちゃんはよそから引っ越してきた正真正銘の人間。相入れることなんてお社様が実在して仲介してくれない限り絶対にない。
Keiichi hesitated a little. Come on, Kei-chan, condemn me. Condemn me and tell me you'd never go.
ああ、いいぜ。
ありがとう。
You fool.
私からもありがとうを言うよ。圭一くん。
Rena stood up. As promised, she made to leave.
あ、いいよレナ。ここで待っててくれれば。ケイちゃんとは庭をぐるりと回りたいだけだから。退屈だったら私の部屋へ行けばいい。漫画とか好きに読んでていいよ。あ、なんだったらお気に入りの単行本丸ごと持ってってもいい。
嫌だよ。みーちゃんの本はみーちゃんのものだもの。勝手にレナの家に持って帰れない。
あんたはこんな時に限っていい子なんだから。
I took Rena's head and rubbed it like Satoshi-kun used to do to me.
じゃあ行こう。ケイちゃん。
The game was over. Too bad, Rena. At least this was more fun than if Kei-chan came alone. If he did, he could have asked me to run away with him after hearing my stories. Rena's eyes were like those of a judge. In those eyes, I sensed both affection and observance. I said 30 minutes, so she would probably only wait for 30 minutes. If I took even a second longer, she'd call Oishi. I'm a little disappointed. Rena still thinks I'm Mion. She didn't manage to see through me. I thought someone like her would see the demon in me. I guess I was wrong. Too bad. So Keiichi followed me after putting his shoes on.
腕組んでもいいかな。
Such a humble request.
別に構わないぞ。
I took Keiichi's arm. It was as warm as Satoshi-kun, so I felt a little bewildered.
私に腕を組まれたらなんだか緊張しちゃわない？例えば急に関節技を決められちゃうんじゃないかななんて思ったりとか。
姉妹揃って同じことを言うんだな。思わないよ。全然。
He was remembering the time when I held his arm in town.
シオンもケイちゃんのことが好きだったみたい。
そうなんだ。
I told him how my sister felt. So Shion, yeah. I mean, actually, yes, that is true though, because the Shion she was talking about is our Mion, right? Our Mion that we've known. Shion was with Satoshi-kun for a long time, but what they had was friendship. They never had anything more than that. That was why she fell in love with Keiichi. If I were in her position, I would also have fallen in love with him. If Shion was able to fall in love with him, then I could fall in love with him too. Keiichi smiled gently. I almost saw Satoshi-kun in that smile. The Keiichi I knew was worthless and superficial. I never realized he could smile like Satoshi-kun.
ミオンとシオンは 仲は良かったんだろ？
さあ、どうかな。ケイちゃんは自分の右手と左手は仲がいいと思う？
え？右手と左手？それは仲がいいとか悪いとか、そういう言い方で例えるものじゃないな。
そういう関係だから。仲がいいとか悪いとか、そういう尺度では測れない関係。
We'd been together since we were born. We'd been living in this world as a pair. But I was Mion and she was Shion. Mion was treated specially and I insisted on being her. Of course, that was unpleasant for Shion. Deciding to be fair, we switched places all the time. We were probably different from identical twins. Or other identical twins. We didn't only like the same things or do the same things the same way. We even managed to share our knowledge and experiences. When we talked about our experiences, we could share them. As Mion and Shion, we shared everything. That was why each of us was both Mion and Shion at the same time. Now maybe Shion was the only one who thought that way. I was a little different than that. I was simply letting Shion be Mion in a while, or once in a while. I was Mion, the successor to the Sonozaki family. I was supposed to be treated specially. I always thought that was my privilege. Just like everyone tried to distinguish Mion and Shion, I also tried to distinguish between us.
例えば、利き腕というものがあるように、右手と左手には間違いなく優劣の違いがある。もしも鍋つかみが片方しかなかったら、迷うことなく利き腕にするでしょ？そういう差はあったんじゃないかと思う。だからといって、左手がなくなったっていいなんて思う人は誰もいないはず。そんな、よくわからない関係だね。
それは近くにいすぎるから見えなくなっているだけで、きっととても仲のいいことなんだと思う。俺は一人っ子だから、祭りの前日、ミオンとシオンが二人してじゃれ合っているのをすごく羨ましいと思った。
ないものねだりじゃないの？双子なんて昔は人をからかったりしてそこそこに面白かったけど、こうして互いがはっきりと異なる個性を持った今ではかえって邪魔なだけ。
As an older sister, I felt I was mean for thinking that way, so as punishment, I became Shion. Who am I? I never had a solid identity in the first place. I was Mion, then I was Shion. I should have just accepted that. But something has changed. I don't even know if I'm Mion or Shion anymore. Had I really been stupid enough to hope that Rena would figure that out for me?
シオンはまだ生きてる。
本当か？
Keiichi looked into my eyes. I nodded quietly.
うん。誰よりもむごたらしい死に方をさせてやろうとずっと考えて閉じ込めておいたけど、今日までその方法はとうとう思いつかなかった。
This was a lie. I already come up with ideas, and I already begun to execute them. I dumped the hag into the well in front of Shion. I dumped Kimiyoshi and Rika in there. I even killed Satiko too. And right now I'm plotting to kill Keiichi, who Shion fell in love with. I am a demon. Any such gruesome act is simply pleasure to me. That's when I felt a warm hand rubbing my head. It wasn't Satoshi's hand, but it was Keiichi's. Keiichi and Satoshi-kun are totally different. Why did Shion fall in love with him? His rough hand didn't make me happy. that he understood my feelings was just my imagination. I wasn't happy and it didn't feel good. It didn't.
来て。私の罪のすべてを見てほしいから。でもそれはケイちゃんにとってこの上なく辛い光景かもしれない。
I'm going to commit my final crime. I'm going to let you see it. I am going to let Shion see it. When I do, are you still going to think I'm your best friend? Or Shion? Kei-chan is going to die thinking it's you who is killing him.
引き返すなら今だよ。ケイちゃんの中の園崎ミオンがどんな人かは知らないけれど、中に入ればそのミオンはきっと
変わらない。何度だって言う。園崎ミオンは俺の最高の親友だ。
You're such a fool. You don't sound cool at all. I don't understand human feelings because I'm now a demon. But I think I can understand why she loves you. I opened the iron door to the underground storehouse and beckoned Keiichi inside. Come on, Keiichi. This is obviously a trap, don't you see? This basement is transparently suspicious. Don't you think you should run to the police? But Keiichi was reckless. He swallowed, then stepped inside. You really are a fool. We went downstairs to the basement and I let him into the torture room. Everyone is shocked. Their first time visiting this room. So I used to be that way. Of course, Keiichi looked surprised too. But he was trying not to show it. Obviously, he wanted to express his shock at seeing this horrifying room. But he also knew that if he voiced that shock, that he would be rejecting his best friend who was trying to confess her sins to him. So he did everything he could do to stifle this surprise.
大昔の当主の書き物によるとね、血のしぶきってのは犠牲者に負担をかけない割にはインパクトがあるんだってさ。綿流しは見せしめのショーだったから、私のご先祖様たちは様々なショーを考案してたんだよ。ほら、そこが鑑賞席なんだよ。綿流しは見せしめのショーだから、客がいなきゃ意味がない。
Keiichi smiled quietly as he listened to me. No matter what cruelty came out of my mouth, he would embrace me. Was this really the superficial Keiichi Maebara I knew?
みんなここで私が殺した。見てくれている観客はいなかったけど、私は綿流しを上手にやってみせた。いや、観客は一人だけいたかな。
え？観客？
私という鬼がミオンの執り行う綿流しをずっと見てたから。
I started to laugh. How many hints do you need, Keiichi? When are you going to figure out I'm not really your best friend? Come on, hurry up. You're running out of time and the game is almost over. This was a game. This was a game of murder. I had killed people using my revenge for Satoshi-kun as an excuse. The demon was trying to capture Keiichi and kill him before Mion's eyes. But Keiichi had a chance. If he figured out I wasn't his best friend, then he'd win. If not, he was out. When did I come up with that rule? I guess it was sometime today. Or did I come up with that just a minute ago? Since the two of them aren't too bright, I decided to be easy on them, I guess. You are Mion's best friend, right? Don't you believe in her? Have you already made Mion into a murderer within yourselves? Why don't you try to protect the Mion within you? Why don't you try to believe your friend can't be a murderer? If you could believe until the very end, like Satoko did, you would have realized I wasn't Mion, your best friend, but just someone who looks like her. But if you can't, if you still believe that I'm Mion, then you're just like me. I killed Satoshi-kun within me so easily, and you will do the same. You don't deserve to live.
向こうが牢屋。
シオンはそこにいるのか？
You're not gonna make it. Once you reach Shion's cell, your time is up. The demon will win.
シオン！シオンか！
ケイちゃん。ケイちゃんなの？
Keiichi run to the cell.
大丈夫かシオン？怪我はしていないのか？
Shion screamed. I was standing right behind Keiichi. It was time. My preparations to kill the boy she loved were complete. For her, this was going to be the worst possible torture.
落ち着けシオン。もう全部終わったんだ。全部。
Keiichi tried to quell Shion's distress by talking to her in a calm voice. It was such a funny sight. Keiichi was the only one who had no idea what was going on.
シオン、ご機嫌はいかがだった？私が憎いなら早く私を殺してよ！憎いのは私なんでしょ！早く殺して！殺して！
落ち着けってシオン。もう終わったんだよ。大丈夫なんだ。だから落ち着け。
安心しなよ。あんたは殺さない。まだまだ殺さないんだから。
It's game over. I gave you enough chances. You cornered me quite well once. But that was it. You couldn't figure out that I'm not your best friend, Mion. You couldn't believe that Mion isn't a murderer.
死にたければこの男を殺した後にゆっくりとひき肉にしてやるよ。古式にのっとり獅子の先端から少しずつガリゴリと削ってミンチにしてやる。あの肉引き器はあんたのために取っておいてあるんだからね。それともそれでケイちゃんをミンチにしてみせた方があんたには面白いかな。
おい、いい加減にしろ。今さら怖がらせてどうするんだよ。ダメ！ケイちゃん、逃げて！
Honestly, for Keiichi in this part, right? Dude, you know your friend killed the other friends, right? You need to be very cautious here. But for him, he's so relaxed, like, oh no, stop. Like, say, like, hey, quit it already. What do you gain from scaring her at this point? Like, come on, man, you're gonna die. Like, the other girl is literally saying that she's gonna kill you, and you're like, relaxed. Here you are, demon. Go ahead and take my soul. I'd been living my life to avenge Satoshi-kun. But that wasn't what he wanted from me. That was just for my own satisfaction. I couldn't even face Satoshi-kun, so I'll bring this to an end in the way I want. The world became a total mess. Satoshi-kun hates me and I hate myself too. I'm going to complete my revenge. I don't want anyone to sympathize with me. I won't pretend to be some tragic heroine either. I'm going to become a murderer that nobody could sympathize with. So please, grant a suitable final moment to me. A bluish-white flash filled the huge cave, and Keiichi fell down like a doll. Shion reached out to him from the other side of the bar. She screamed at me not to kill Keiichi. So go ahead, cry and blame me. Don't even think of offering your forgiveness. I am the most rotten existence in this world. So please, grant me the worst possible ending. Shion begged me desperately to let Keiichi go, so I simply abused her, slandered her, and disgraced her. The more Shion suffered, the deeper I'd fall into hell. It wasn't enough. It wasn't even close to deep enough. It wasn't deep enough to compensate for my sins. I dragged Keiichi to the table that I tried to put Sateko on and restrained him there. Keiichi began to move sluggishly. The stun gun must have not worked too well on him.
聞こえるかいシオン。これから始めるよ。ケイちゃんの若い悲鳴をたっぷりと楽しみな。
Oh, okay, we have choices here. Okay, we'll come back here. Okay, let me save this. Yes, we'll come back here. I guess, let's put it at number 10 so I don't forget. Okay, let's save there. So we'll choose the correct one for now, right? The check mark here. So this one. And I turned around to face Keiichi.
いい加減にしろ。
Keiichi squeezed out those words. He sounded good. Like he was about to bite me.
ようやくお目覚め。私、さっき嘘をついたね。シオンを一番むごたらしく殺してやろうと思って閉じ込めておいたけど、まだ思いつかないって言ったやつ。あれが嘘。
I smiled as I laid out the huge nails and hammer specially made for the nail table.
あの子に自分のせいで死ぬ大勢の人の悲鳴をたっぷりと聞かせて、体の芯まで染み通らせてから殺すの。なかなかセンスいいでしょ。
お前は誰だ？
は？ミオンでしょ？園崎ミオン。恐怖で頭が変になっちゃった？
違うな。お前が園崎ミオンであるはずがない。
I stopped moving. Kei-chan? I decided the naming game would be over once we reached Shion's cell. Therefore, even if he guessed this time, it would be too late. Oh well. Sure. I'll listen to you. This is your last chance.
へえ。じゃあ、私がミオンじゃなかったら、私は誰なわけ？
Come on, Kei-chan. Guess who I am. Why don't you try and save Mion, the girl who fell in love with you?
鬼だ。
え？
お前はミオンじゃない。さっきまで一緒だったミオンを返せ。
ケイちゃん、本当に頭は大丈夫？恐怖で頭がどうかなっちゃった？
触るな！この鬼め！返せ！ミオンを返せよ！俺の最高の友人だったミオンを返せ！
I listened to him with a blank expression.
ミオンを目の前にしてミオンを返せなどと よまいごとであることは分かってる。でも目の前の今のこいつは断じてミオンではありえない。認めるわけにはいかないんだ。
That's great. So I'm not Mion or Shion. He doesn't even see me as my sister. No wait, that's not it. Keiichi protected the Mion in his heart until the end. He didn't accept the fact that that Mion was a murderer. And not just that either. He protected the Shion in his heart as well. He didn't conclude that if Mion wasn't a murderer, then it must have been Shion. To Keiichi, Shion was someone who always made fun of Mion. But that was it. It wasn't like they'd known each other for a long time. But Keiichi protected her. He protected Shion from being a murderer. That's why I'm a demon and not Mion or Shion, huh? A demon. That's stupid. I like how we're seeing what she's thinking, right? But isn't that just right on the money?
ちゃん、私を笑い涙で溺れ殺すつもり？
However, Keiichi didn't back off. He kept screaming. He screamed loudly so that I could hear his voice even when I was stuck inside of a demon.
頑張れミオン。こんな鬼畜生に負けるな。本当に強いお前の力を見せてくれ。
Surely he isn't talking to me knowing that I'm the real Mion, right? He's just confusing us again. So there's no reason to let my heart be disturbed by Keiichi's screams toward Mion.
頼むよミオン。ミオン、どこでお前はこんな鬼に負けちまったんだ。お前はこんな弱いやつじゃないだろ。負けるな。戦え。戦え。
He's right. I didn't fight back, so how did he know? How did he know I didn't fight back? I lost to the demon. After all, I'm weak. I'm not strong enough to defeat the demon. Even so, Keiichi continued to talk to Mion. His voice had become hoarse and he had begun sobbing. He kept mumbling, Mion.
ケイちゃん、メイドの土産なんて気の利いたものじゃないけれど、どうしても知りたがっているようだから一つだけ教えてあげるよ。私の中に鬼が宿ったのはずいぶん前。その鬼は私を蝕み強行に駆り立てようとした。だけれど私はそれを理性で抑えつけた。鬼はそれで収まり、私はその鬼はどこかへ行ってしまったんだと思い込んでいた。でも本当は違った。私の中から出て行ったんじゃなく、私の中で眠っていただけだったの。
That was the truth. When I learned about Satoshi-kun's disappearance, my weak soul couldn't take the sadness and anger it filled me to the brim. But the insanity had stopped there. Time had healed me and embraced me with memories of Satoshi-kun.
その鬼はある小さなことをきっかけにまた目覚めてしまった。それは何に原因があったと思う？
It was the doll. It was such a little thing.
鬼の私が教えるのも変だけれど、あんたが全てを狂わせてしまった元凶。
A tear rolled down my cheek.
あの時あんたがもらった人形を躊躇なく私に渡していたなら、すべては狂い出さなかったかもしれない。ケイちゃんには理解できないだろうね。理解できなくて当然だけどね、そこからドミノ倒しみたいにパタパタパタといろんなものが倒れ始めて、
Okay, so
収集がつかなくなってしまった。
You done? But yeah, I guess the explanation for this one with the doll, right, is Mion, yes, Mion, our OG Mion, she was talking to Shion, right? And she told that story and she was crying a lot, right? A lot. Then for Shion, when she saw Mion of that, all of the memories with Satoshi-kun that already healed, right? And was done, it all came back and awakened something in her. Like, yeah, she remembered all of that. And then that started all of it. So I guess if Keiichi did that, Mion didn't tell her story like that, this would have happened, right? Yeah.
はじめの小さな一つを倒したあなたに自覚がないのは当然だろうけど、あなたが元凶な。
If Kei-chan hadn't done something so insensitive, Shion wouldn't have cried. Shion cried and then talked to me about it. That had reminded me of Satoshi-kun. See? Reminded me of Satoshi-kun. I became jealous of her for having someone she loved so close to her. It was a very small jealousy, but that little feeling woke up the demon who was sleeping deep inside me. After that, I just let the demon take over. The demon ate up all of the sadness from my loss of Satoshi-kun and filled my heart with the notion of revenge, even though I knew that wouldn't make Satoshi-kun happy. Then the scary incident that followed dragged me to hell from whence there was no escape.
そんな嘘だろ。
自覚がないのは当然。でも紛れもなく元凶なのはケイちゃん。あの時あんたがさりげなく人形を私にあげていたら、多分こんなことにはならなかったと。
Was I simply transferring the blame to Keiichi? Such a tiny thing woke up the demon inside of me. The demon would have woken up eventually. I was at fault. I didn't fight back. I let the demon live in my soul. And I let the demon possess me. Keiichi didn't hide his tears. They were pouring down his cheeks. Maybe he was crying in my place since I'd become a demon and couldn't cry of my own will.
じゃあそろそろいい？この拷問はね、とってもシンプル。左手の小指の先端の節に釘を打つ。順に親指まで打ったらまた小指に戻って、今度は真ん中の節に釘を打つ。この調子で15本の釘で左手を打ちつける。それが終わったら次は右手。それが終わったら次は指先ってたくさんの神経が集まってるから、ケイちゃんが想像するよりもはるかに痛いよ。両手30本を打ち終える前に失神しちゃう人もいるそうだから。
I put the nail to Keiichi's left pinky. Once I hit it with a big hammer, it would start, and it would be over.
他の人を拷問するときには何のためらいもなかったけど、なぜかあんたにはためらいがある。
それでミオンの鬼が収まるなら気の済むようにやってくれ。
I didn't understand what he just said, so I tried to repeat his words in my head.
あんた本気で言ってるの？
俺が傷つけたミオンの痛みに比べれば、こんなの大したことないんだろ。気の済むようにするといい。その代わり、2つ約束しろ。俺を気が済むまで痛めつけたら、シオンは許してやれ。細工殿に忍び込んだ罪には、それで十分見合う仕打ちをしたはずだ。
あんたこの後に及んで自分よりシオンの心配ができるわけ？
I am Mion Sonozaki. So why are my eyes growing so damp when hearing Keiichi show concern for Shion?
もう一つは、気が済んだら、もうお前は消えろ。その体をミオンに返してやってくれ。それだけだ。
あんたって人には命乞いをするとかそういう考えは思い浮かばないの？
約束、2つじゃなくて3つにしていいか？ 3つ目は、俺を殺すなにしてくれ。
最初に2つって言ったでしょ？だからもうダメ。
そいつは残念。
Even in this situation, Keiichi and I joke around and laughed. Then I knew why Shion fell in love with him. He's different from Satoshi-kun, but he's a good guy.
多分私は約束を守らないよ。鬼だから。
その時は仕方がないさ。
Keiichi smiled and closed his eyes.
ケイちゃん、今の3つ目の願いだけは聞いてもいいよ。
え
1つ目の願い、シオンを救うこと。これはもう無理。シオンは鬼が殺してしまう。それはもう決められたことだから止められない。だから諦めて。
I stroked Keiichi's chin.
そして2つ目の願い、この体をミオンに返すこと。これももう無理。今日を境にミオンが戻ってくることはもうない。今日以降、もし私の姿があったとしても、それは姿だけ。私の姿をした鬼だから。
そんなことはない。ミオンはミオンだ。もう戻ってこないなんて悲しいことを言うな。
聞こえる？あの音。
I've been hearing a noise. I knew what it had to be. Bang. Oh yeah, the police are here. A dull sound was repeating in a regular rhythm. It was accompanied by a light tremor. People were trying to force open the iron door to the underground storehouse.
帰りが遅いからレナが大石を呼んだんでしょ。あのぼやっとした感じの子がこんなに頭が回るのだけは計算外だったな。
それについては同感だよ。
Really? I wonder how much Kei-chan really knows about Rena. Rena Ryugu. I won this time. Rena couldn't figure out who I was until the end. Or maybe she did. Rena didn't seem confused about whether I was Shion or Mion or Shion. Perhaps Rena could tell Mion and Shion apart through her sense of smell. She was good at that kind of thing. No way. I'm overestimating her. I brought my stun gun so Keiichi could see the sparks.
見たことないでしょ。本物のスタンガンだよ。かなり出力が上げられるようになってるけどね。
さっき俺に食らわせたのはそれか。子供のおもちゃには向かねえぞ。
そうだね。
They must have broken the first floor. The path was complicated, but there was no other door except for the one to this torture room.
殺さないけど、しばらくケイちゃんにはお休みしててもらうね。すぐに大石が来てくれるから。ちょっとの我慢。
So Keiichi beat down and smiled bitterly. I paused, hesitating a little. Keiichi opened his eyes to see what was wrong.
ごめんね。ミオンを怪我して。
ここに入る前に約束した。何があっても俺の中のミオンは変わらない。
でも忘れて。今日以降、もしも私を見かけても近寄らないでね。それは私の屍に取り付いた鬼なんだから。
Keiichi fell unconscious. I locked the door to the torture room. I locked the door to the huge cave too. That should give me some time.
シオン、さあ出ておいで。
Okay, now we're gonna see how this happened. I opened the cell and told Shion to leave it. She was crying.
あんたがケイちゃんを見逃してほしいと祈ったから、お姉はちゃんと約束を守ったよ。ケイちゃんはスタンガンで伸びてるだけ。もうすぐ警官隊が来るから解放されるよ。ありがとう、ありがとう。でも、シオンにはまだ用がある。ここから脱出するの。
I took Shion to the cell with the hidden passage.
その前にシオン、あんたにミオンを返すわ。脱げ、その服。
Take those clothes off.
交換だよ、また。ほら、紙のゴムバンド。
Shion had no idea what was going on, but she changed her clothes as I ordered her to. I gave her the flashlight and she hung it around her neck.
あんたから先にどうぞ。井戸の底にあるとかいう隠し通路を探すの。
The light from the flashlight wasn't enough to entirely illuminate the way down, so nobody in their right mind would want to descend that well. But Shion obeyed and timidly climbed down the ladder. When she had passed entirely below the rim of the well, I brought out my stun gun and put it in Shion's head. Shion understood the meaning of that.
お姉ちゃん。あんたの望み通り、ケイちゃんは救った。代わりにあんたを殺してもいいってことだったもんね。お姉はちゃんと約束は守るよ。
Shion's hands and feet were clinging to a very unstable ladder, so there was no way she could protect herself. She was in a critical condition or situation.
ミオンの格好をしたあんたはここから落ちておだぶつ。私はシオンの格好だからね。ケイちゃんが被害者だと立証してくれるよ。私は岩牢の中で警官隊の助けを待つ。まあ指紋なんかでバレるだろうけどさ。その頃にはどこかへ身を隠してるってわけ。お姉もなかなかやるでしょ。
I told you, man. I said this back then. I'm correct.
私を殺すとサトシの 復讐になる。そこまで分かってるなら覚悟はいいよね。そこまで落ちてサトシ君に謝っといで。おねえ、この底にはね、サトシはいないよ。は？あんたら言わなかったっけ？ここに捨てられてるって。園崎家で殺されてればここに捨てられてると思う。そうは言った。この期に及んでややこしいことを言うね。もうちょっと分かりやすくお姉に言ってごらん。私もね、サトシのこと好きだったんだよ。そりゃそうだろうね。私が好きになるくらいだもん。だからサトシが消えた時、私も悲しくて悔しくていろいろとね、調べたんだよ。それでバッチャにね、詰め寄ったんだよ。絞め殺してやろうってくらいに。そしたらバッチャが次期当主にしか話さないよ、絶対に内緒だよって。
What she said was something hard to believe. The hag said to Shion, the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with the disappearance of Satoshi-kun. See? Yeah. Like, this was kinda obvious though. Like, they hadn't really done anything to him. Shion couldn't understand, so she asked again. The Sonozaki family held a lot of influence in the underworld because of her dad's connections. In fact, they used such illegal measures during the dam conflict. Therefore, people just assumed the Sonozaki family had pulled the strings when the dam construction incident took place. Even the hag laughed meaningfully and said suspicious things, so everyone believed she was a mastermind. But it was all a performance. It was a hoax by the Sonozaki family head. Wait, what? It was just a bluff. The family took credit for the incidents to make it look like they were pulling the strings. With the influence they already had, this bluff was very believable. Therefore, people thought of the Sonozaki family as one that had deep connections in the underworld, and they were capable of producing any sort of conspiracy. What? Okay. Oh, so they didn't really kidnap the kid back then? Okay. People have believed that since the dam conflict, Oreo just smiled at things she had nothing to do with, as if she was pulling the strings. When their relatives saw that, they become fearful of Oreo's power. When the dam construction site manager was killed, Oreo smiled meaningfully. Then the relatives saw that they assumed Oreo was behind it. When the Hojo couple fell off the cliff. When the Furude couple died violently. When Satoshi-kun's aunt died and Satoshi-kun disappeared, the hag had smiled meaningfully. Everyone believed that the Sonozaki family was behind all those incidents.
嘘だ！あの事件が園崎家が関わってないってわけ？そんなの信じると思う？私はバッチャがね、嘘を言うとは思わないの。特にサトシの失踪については本当に知らないって言ったの。だってサトシとお姉の交際、バッチャは許したんだよ。爪を見事剥いで見せたから全部忘れるって言って。嘘だ、嘘だ！手任せを言うな！じゃあ誰がサトシ君を消したの？誰が？それだけはわからない。でも よね。園崎家じゃない。バッチャじゃない。あんただってたたりのシステムは知ってるでしょ。別にサトシ君を襲えとわざわざばあさんが指示しなくても気を利かす誰かが襲う、そういう仕掛けでしょうが。
Shion couldn't say anything in response. Even if the hag had forgiven him personally, as long as he was the object of the curse, the executioner would follow him forever.
バッチャはね、お社様のたたり誰が起こしてるのかなって長いこと調べたんだって。だけど見つけられなかった。誰もが村の中の誰かって信じてるのに、村の中にそんな人は存在しないの。存在しない？しないならなんで毎年たたりが起きるわけ？おかしいよね。でもいないの。いないんだって。フルでリカが私に首をかきむしる注射で襲いかかってきたってのは話したよね。それはどう説明するの？急須猫を噛むって状況じゃない。向こうから訪ねてきて催涙スプレーと注射器で襲いかかってきた。おそらく同じ注射で富武さんが殺されてるんだと思う。それはわからない。リカちゃんがそんなことするなんて信じられないよ。実際に見た私でも信じられないよ。あの死に方を見りゃね。
I don't think Shion and the hag are lying. That would mean that the hag wasn't in as much control as we thought she was, though. She didn't know anything about the scary drug, or if the Furude family was the one executing the curse. If the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it, then who made the series of mysterious deaths possible? Was it just a coincidence that something happened 5 years in a row on the night of the Watanagashi? That's impossible. A human must have made it happen. And it was all decided somewhere the Sonozaki family wasn't aware of. The Kimiyoshi family didn't know nothing or anything. Kimiyoshi believed the Sonozaki family was behind it. Yeah, when Kimiyoshi told us, right, that Oryo was the one who ordered that kidnapping, and then we learn here that it was not really them. Was it the Furude family? With Rika's behavior and the elderly people who believed in her so blindly? Did some kind of power exist around the Furude family that created the curse? No way. The Furude couple themselves were victims of it. How could a little girl like Rika possess a power stronger than that of the Sonozaki family? No way, it's just impossible. In other words, I had killed the heads of all the 3 families and was trying to bring an end to the whole thing, all as a result of a misunderstanding about the dark secret of Hinamizawa. Then, what about my revenge? Did I kill all the wrong people? People who had nothing to do with Satoshi-kun's disappearance at all?
やるね、シオン。最後の最後で私の復讐劇をひっくり返そうってわけ。お姉ちゃん、信じて。私は仇なんかじゃない。信じてよ、お姉ちゃん。
Shion begged with tears in her eyes. That would have affected me if I was still Shion's sister. But I don't feel anything anymore. Because I'm a demon. I'll be done once I kill Shion. I've already decided that. If I don't finish it up, what would my existence be for? What about the life I devoted to revenge for Satoshi-kun? How dare she tell me all this nonsense to confuse me at the very end? If what she said was the truth, then what I've done wasn't revenge. It was the curse, or it was just the curse of the 5th year.
シオン、あんたが本当に無実なら、あんたは天国へ行けるね。サトシ君に謝っておいて。おねえ。
A bluish white spark lit up the darkness and Shion disappeared into the well. So sad. And then yeah, she's dead of course. She fell down. Who knows how deep that is.
天国でサトシ君に謝って。私は天国には行けないから謝れない。
Instead, I'm going deep into hell. Jumping into this well would be too simple an atonement for what I've done. Until I find a perfect way to end my life, I am going to live. As best as I can. Dude, I love this chapter. All this stuff. Mion saying that it was not really Oreo doing all of that. Right? But yeah, I mean, it was obvious though that for the Watanagashi killings, right? Not obvious. I mean, I'm not gonna say obvious, but like, it didn't really feel like they were the ones doing all of that, right? Okay, let's check this 199. Shion's Sonozaki's last confession is dubious. Did the hag convince her that the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it? Or is that the truth? In my own investigations so far, I've proven there are aspects of the curse which can't be explained by the Sonozaki family alone. So my notes were all bogus from the beginning. These 200 pages are full of BS. I thought of burning this book. But I won't do it. The notebook proves my guilt, so I won't distort the facts. I won't burn it. After all, my life was only a notebook long. I wonder if anybody will read this. I'm reading it. If somebody does, please let me learn something from my stupidity. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, dubbed Oyashiro-sama's curse. If you're reading this, please find the truth. That's my only wish. June 1983. Mion Sonozaki. But yeah, I mean, like, it didn't really feel like, even though, how do I put this? They're saying that, oh, maybe the Sonozaki family were doing all of this, right? It just didn't feel like it. Because if it was a Sonozaki family, why would they wait until the Watanagashi festival? Like year by year, right? Like Satoko and Satoshi's parents died the 2nd year, right? And then they waited until the 4th year until they killed or stuff like that, I mean. But yeah, it doesn't feel like that. I mean, it doesn't feel like they did anything like that. Maybe just the first one. Maybe the first one for the foreman, right? Maybe it felt like that. But the other ones, it didn't really feel like that. At least for me. For the Oyashiro-sama's curse and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be... maybe Irie, right? Because remember Irie when we were doing the 3rd chapter? Like when Keiichi went there, right? And then they were looking for him afterwards. Irie was talking to some people there, right? Like the mountain dogs, stuff like that. They're gonna be the big players here, right? Takano, maybe Takano as well. I mean, Takano, I've always been suspicious of her ever since her first appearance. For this one, she died, right? And then by the ending, Uishi-san said that she already died the day before, right? When they did the autopsy. So there's something wrong with the corpse there, right? It was badly burned, so I don't know, maybe he got tampered and Takano's just still alive, right? We will have to learn that. But yeah, I guess not. Maybe in this chapter they'll give us hints by the ending, hopefully, right? And for Shion, we learned here that I mean we already learned last time on the second chapter. She already mentioned it, the bear, right? But I don't think they mentioned Satoshi. Did they mention Satoshi back then as well? Not really, right? Not really. She only said that it was the not the bear, the doll, the doll. I said bear, the doll that Keiichi didn't give to Mion, right? Like when Keiichi didn't give that, the butterfly effect happened, right? And then Mion crying to Shion, Shion reopening that memories of her that she had with Satoshi, right? Remembering him. And then her quest for revenge, thinking it was a Sonozaki family doing all of this stuff, right? Killing all of them and stuff like that. And then we arrive at this last part here in this episode when Shion was talking to Mion, I mean, was talking to Shion, telling that she talked to her grandma back then when Satoshi disappeared if they did something. But then yeah, she revealed that they didn't do anything, and for most of the events they were not really doing anything. It was mostly assumed because of Orio's status, I suppose, right? That they were the ones doing it, but in reality they were just basically like taking credit, right? And they just couldn't say like, oh, we're not the ones who did that. They didn't say that. So like a lot of people are just fearful of Oreo because they think that all of this stuff that that is happening is that they were done by the Sonozaki family, right? So yeah, let's see. So next episode, maybe it's gonna be the last episode, right? Because it's a time when I guess Oishi saves both Keiichi and Shion, right? Just like what happened in the last part there in chapter 2, right? But yeah, the most thing I want to look forward to is will we learn anything about Takano here or the body, right? Because yeah, it was kind of like a shocker at the ending there on the second chapter, like what Oishi said, right, with Takano's body there, something like that. So I wish we get more of that. So oh, by the way, the ending or the ending, the other choice that we got, right? Well, we will check that out as well next episode. We'll see if we have time. But if we don't have time for that, if the episode is already too long, we'll do, I guess, maybe one more extra episode to check the other ending. Or not the ending. I suppose other ending, right? Or other choice, I mean, for that one. So, because I want to see as well if how different it is gonna be, right? So yeah, we're gonna continue this and do more of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 5, Meakashi, in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye-bye.